we as leaders shall lead our country on the path of peace and shall find solutions for issues and problems facing us. Grant us the mercy, O Lord, that we shall today also honor thy name in all we think, do, and say. Almighty God, we pray thee, bless our land and all its people. This all we pray in the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Affirmation. I solemnly affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of Namibia and its people, and I solemnly promise to uphold and defend the Constitution and laws of the Republic of Namibia to the best of my ability. Welcome back, honorable members. Now, announcements. I am pleased to announce that while the Assembly was in recess, Honorable Martin Lucato, I was looking for him, I see he is coming, leader of the National Democratic Party, NDP, participated in the NBC Marathon, which was held on 2nd August in Windhoek. He participated in the Masters Veterans category and completed a 42 kilometers a distance in a time frame of 5 hours. The good news is that Honorable Kato was awarded a Masters Award Veteran Medal, along with a prize of $3,000, Honorable Lucato, in this NBC Marathon. Congratulations to the Honorable Member. Now, on a more solemn note, on Saturday, the 30th of August, 2025, a gruesome vehicle accident took place near Mariental, Hardap region, which has claimed the lives of 16 Namibians, 14 members of the police and correctional services, and 2 civilian sisters from Mariental. On behalf of the National Assembly, I wish to extend our heartfelt condolences to the families of the deceased and to extend very best wishes to those who survived this horrific accident and are getting treatment for a speedy recovery. I would also like to ask that we rise for a moment of silence in their honor. Thank you. May their souls rest in peace. Now, any messages from the head of state? Any petitions? Reports of standing or select committees? Other reports in papers? Notices of questions? Okay. We have some notices of questions. I recognize Honorable Mouton.
Hello, Speaker. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 4th of September, I shall ask the Minister of Information, Communications and Technology, Honorable Emma Theophilus, the following questions. The Namibian Broadcasting Corporation, NBC, has indeed been grappling with significant budget constraints, often relying on government bailouts to cover operational costs. This has historically led to issues like underpayment and overworking of staff, which in turn negatively affects the quality of service and workforce morale. Despite this, the Auditor General report reflects that for the financial year end of 31 March 2023, some members of MPC management were remunerated 750,698 above the remunerational bands as per Section 4 of the Public Enterprise Governance Act of 2019, which directs that the remuneration and other service benefits of the Chief Executive Officer and other management staff of a public enterprise must be determined by the board of the public enterprise with the concurrence of the relevant minister. With due regard to any directives laid down by the minister under Section 4, the corporation has not obtained the minister's concurrence as required by the Act. I therefore ask the following questions. With this clear non-compliance of the Act, has the Honourable Minister addressed this issue with the Board and managers? And if so, what explanations did they provide? What has the Minister done to hold these people accountable? And since the 2023 audit report is yet another adverse opinion for MBC, how often does the Minister engage with MBC to ensure better accountability? I thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Member may please debut the questions. Now I recognize Honourable Mongo. Yes, okay, Honourable Mongo, may you please take your seat? Honourable Wampanda. The rules. It's not allowed, Honourable, but thank you very much. The rules. Oh, okay, sorry. You can go ahead, please.
Okay. So, Speaker, the point I'm raising is really in terms of Rule 17 of committee rules.
So, 17?
Yes, of committee rules.
Okay.
That specific rules refers to the notice of a committee. It says that the notice must reach members 3 days before. And the interpretation of law's proclamation says two things. One, the actual day of the meeting is included, but not the actual day, not the day that the notice is received. We received the notice for a meeting taking place tomorrow. And that meeting we received the notice yesterday, so today is the first day of the 3 days counting. But this meeting is already scheduled for tomorrow. That's the first procedural issue that we have in terms of Rule 17. And that Rule 17.2, Speaker, also speaks about what the committee clerk must do. That meeting that we are invited to, Speaker, says, for example, we only received these two documents, the minutes and the notice. That notice says that we are going, in that meeting, there is budget of the National Assembly to be presented to us. We don't have a copy of that. It also speaks to private members' bills. We don't have anything, but this is all to be presented by the Secretariat. So I'm writing really on those 2 points. Firstly, it is important because tomorrow we will seek enforcement of rules in terms of how it's supposed to be. But the Secretariat constantly keeps doing these things. So I ask for your indulgence to direct the Secretariat to issue a notice in terms of the rules. That's one. Number two, for them to also provide the necessary documentation that are required. I could go on and on, but I'm really just raising that matter, Speaker, because if I don't, we will have problems tomorrow, unless we are expected just to go there and just listen and hear and just clap hands and without preparing for anything. We take ourselves seriously. If you are talking about the budget, give me the document to read and prepare. If you are talking about documents so and so, give me the document to prepare. And it's written by the Secretary. It's really just your indulgence to just give them instruction like how you always give us. Do everything in accordance to the rules. Give a proper notice, because these things reflect very well. We assume the Speaker, probably the Speaker have no idea how these people are doing their things. That's all, Speaker. I could go on, but I'll end here.
Yes, thank you very much. Honourable Deputy Speaker, would you like to speak on the point? You may take the floor.
Thank you. First, I ask indulgence for my sister, Honourable Mongo. It's not in my nature to speak before somebody we have indicated to speak. It's not in my nature. But I think we need to put certain things into context. And context is very much important. The rule cited by Honorable Amupanda says, unless the committee decides otherwise. The other provisions he has stated. And I think it's a statutory requirement and a knowledge that standing rules has always all along been scheduled for Wednesday, 11 to 1 o'clock, if I may write. So the committee can constitute tomorrow, and then those provisions can be put on the table. If the committee agrees to continue, notwithstanding that, then that's the decision of the committee. The rule in totality allows for flexibility, not to the letter and spirit of an interpretation and seeking. So therefore, I'm seeking for the indulgence and ruling of the Speaker to say, if I read the read correctly, it says, unless the committee decides otherwise, the chairperson determines the agenda of the meeting, which must reach the members at least 3 days before the meeting. So we can convene the meeting as indicated. If those issues, if the committee meeting tomorrow have structural issues with what was raised or what can be raised there, then the meeting can be adjourned or the meeting can continue. It's what the rules say, unless the committee decides otherwise. So I'm just saying, this is an interpretation, and this is not a matter that can be dealt here. It can be dealt here at the committee so that we analyze the proceedings of the House.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Ampanda.
Again.
Huh?
So I can come back again, Speaker.
No, this is not about you.
That's the
I
challenge
raised a
now.
specific issue. I'm serious
Honorable
about it.
members now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm allowing Honorable Ampanda to
Yes.
speak one last time on the issue, so
Yes.
that I can try
Yeah.
to rule.
No, thank you very much, Speaker. There are two elements I raised here. The first one, right? The notice. The rule speaks about the notice. It doesn't speak about you convening a meeting and then deciding otherwise. It's not retrospective. You must read it carefully. It is about inviting participants to a meeting. That's the first thing that we're talking about. So basically, the interpretation, the correct interpretation is this, dealing with the first element. We can have a meeting, and we have done it before. You are sitting in that meeting and you say, we can't continue on this matter. Let's therefore convene tomorrow. So in that meeting, you have resolved otherwise. You don't convene a meeting outside the rules of notice to come and have a retrospective effect. That's the first thing that we are talking about. When the rule saying, clear as it is, unless a committee decides otherwise. Has the committee decided otherwise? No. So that decision must be in existence. That otherwise must be in existence. That's why we say, we come to a meeting, we discuss and say, no, can we adjourn and continue tomorrow? So there is no committee decision that says we have decided otherwise. You can't say, okay, we meet so that we can decide otherwise after you have already met. That's the first element with regards to deciding otherwise. Now, a member of a committee, because the rules goes and say it, the committee clerk must prepare and have delivered to each member a written notice on the date and time. Right? So you have a right as a member, not what other people think and interpret. You have a right to receive a notice 3 days before the meeting. So, principle. Yes, it's a principle, it's not gymnastic or so. It is very important that we do the things right because we will create chaos. We are going to create a lot of chaos because Speaker is very clear. The question that you have to ask yourself, Speaker, the notice in terms of the rules, because those rules are very specific. That's why, Speaker, the rules gives powers on issuance of notice to one functionary. That functionary is the secretary. The rules gives powers to the chairperson to call and decide on the time and the date. When that has been determined, the functionary, who is the secretary, must then, in accordance with the rules, issue a proper notice in line with the rules. The question that we must ask, Speaker, is this. I can't even believe that there's people who want to argue otherwise. the notice that has been issued, is it effective or is it defective? The answer is obvious. There must be 3 days before the meeting. There isn't. This is the first day. Tomorrow is the second day. If the notice was saying on the 4th, the first day would have been the second, the third, the proclamation of rules, the proclamation of the interpretation of laws proclamation of 1920, which has been used recently, says clearly that the last day is also included in the counting. If this notice would have said the meeting is scheduled on the 4th, then it would have complied lawfully. So we cannot proceed in any way, no matter how anyone wants to argue. It is very shocking, Speaker, that such an argument could even be advanced. So it's simple. No one is scared of the meeting. We are looking forward to that meeting. We simply just say, convene a meeting in terms of the rules. That's all we are saying. And the second element I'm talking about, Speaker, is that the purpose of issuing a notice with an agenda is that a member must receive document and information to prepare for the meeting and to be able to advance arguments in the meeting. Unless there's an expectation that you're just going to be sitting there nodding your head on whatever it is. Somebody is telling you on the notice about the budget. You are going to a meeting without a budget. You are going to a meeting and just sit and agree. No, there is nothing complicated here. The notice is defective. It can still be issued in line with the rules, and we can still be provided with information, even if you have to argue that otherwise. How would you, even if you argue that with a weird interpretation that you can show up at the meeting and decide, because by virtue of coming to a meeting, the rules have already kicked in. You come to a meeting in terms of the rules. So by already coming to a meeting that is already defective to say, oh, we'll do it retrospectively. No, we can't do that, Speaker. So I didn't even think that this was going to be a matter up for debate. The notice must just be issued in line with the rules, and we must just receive documents so that we can prepare within those specific dates, Speaker.
Yes, thank you very much. Honorable members, I will defer a decision on this and refer it to the committee for discussion, for the standing committee meeting for discussion. We will discuss there. There we will talk about what documents were supposed to come, which documents are not there, or whether they were not supposed to be documents. Reference to items are referring to documents that are already maybe in circulation. It's a discussion, more information that needs to be provided that we will not be able to share here without delving into the discussion. Yeah, so that's now why I'm saying we will debate it if we go in there, into the details of that one. So, yeah. No, but we have called a meeting, we go to the meeting, then we deal with that aspect there. Yes. Yes, and Honorable Venani, please take note of the fact that according to the rules, when the presiding officer has made a ruling, there will be no debate about it. So unless if you are providing information, yeah, 1 minute, please.
Honorable Speaker, welcome to your house. Honorable Speaker, under your speakership and under the rules, there is a rule that says elected members of parliament, like myself, when we want to bring a private member's bill, we are subjected to send it to the Secretariat. And that rule has applied because it was a caucus decision of one political party. That Tumbabuzul Venani's private members' bill, refer them to the technical committee. And the rule.
Can you cite the rule?
And the rule was applied by you.
Can you?
Now you are saying
cite the rule,
that rule is fine, but this rule, we can amend this rule. You know, I'm just coming out of a car accident that I survived. Yes.
We thank God. We thank God.
Members of my committee know, and I'm becoming a senior member of the House. To ask me rules impromptu will not really help, but I'll come to the rule. Madam Speaker, I want you to be a person of equity. The application of equity you must be judicious as a speaker. Speaker, you let me wait for 3 months to bring an elected, a bill to this house because I'm waiting for the secretariat, and that's what the rule says. Now you are saying, in the event where you are giving notice defectively, that rule can be bended so that we go and
now,
discuss.
Honorable,
So let's do the right things. If you are saying the rules must be applied, apply them to the letter. Why are you bending the rules?
Now, Honorable Member, you are out of order because
I know
I'm
you
no
will
longer
always go
sure.
back.
I'm no longer sure what point you are raising. At first, I thought you were raising something having to do with private members' bills. But then you move on to talk about the meeting of the standing rules and orders. So I actually don't know what point you raised, and you declined to cite the rule because in terms of the rules, the presiding officer is empowered to require a member who stands up to make a point to cite the rule on which they are raising, which the honorable member declined to do. No, you are already seated. You are no longer on the floor. Honorable member, I have ruled, Honorable Ampanda, we cannot, I note that you have a concern. I'm not saying your concern should not be heard. Please, may you take your seat, please. No, that's your view. It's your, no, it's view. Yeah. You don't have the floor, Honorable Member.
We did not receive the document. It's irrelevant. We must still show up that meeting is just going to happen because other people have already collected the document was going to be discussed. Is that what we are ruling, Speaker?
Honorable Member, you don't have the floor. No, I can't answer you so long as you stand without the floor.
Just do the right thing. You can still achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. They must just do the right thing. That's all we are asking.
Honorable Member, you don't have the floor. It would be a contradiction for you to ask me to uphold the rules when you are violating them right now. You are out of order, Honorable Member. No, you are out of order, Honorable Member. The honorable member doesn't have the floor. I cannot make a ruling on this intervention he's making now. Unfortunately. Honorable Member, you are out of order. You are out of order. Now, notices of questions. Honorable Member, please take your seat. We will discuss that issue there. You are out of order. You are out of... I cannot provide a clarification to a query raised out of the rules. You are out of order. I will not respond to you. You are out of order. I will not respond to you. You are out of order. I will not. You are out of order. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable Member, take your seat. No, you take your seat. You are out of order now. Notices of questions. The next person on the line is Honorable Vries to pose his question. Yeah, Honorable Mongo, it was. Honorable Member, please take a seat. We will discuss the issue there. I have made a ruling. Can you take a seat? Honorable Mongo, please take the floor. Take the floor, Honorable Mongo. Please take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat, Honorable. No, sit down. You take your seat. Yes. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Do the right thing yourself. Take your seat. No? No, I will not answer a question asked out of order. Out of order. Honorable Mongo has the floor. Please, Honorable Mongo, get up and pose your question.
Point of
Take the floor, Honorable Mongo, and pose your question.
Honorable Speaker, I would like to pose my questions, but I cannot do that while the honorable member is standing.
Yeah. No. So now we just grant his wish because he cannot comply with the order of the
But
presiding
the rules
officer.
are very clear.
No. The honorable ask a question. Otherwise, then we will have to follow the rules, to invoke the rules. I have made the ruling. The ruling is sit down. Sit down. I am not going to give a floor to any one of you.
Now, how do I ask my question?
Take your seat. Take your seat, honorable members. Take your seat, honorable members. No. Honorable members, take your seats. Can you sit down, please? You don't have to speak out of 10 to make a point. You don't have to speak out of 10. Yeah, honorable member.
Yes, it's not good. It's not about time, it's about doing things correctly. You don't care about time. You need to do things correctly. Bring the issue of finality.
Please take your seat. The rules are saying when the presiding officer makes a ruling, no, it can be discussed at the standing rules. You are out of order, honorable members. Honorable members, what are you saying really? So you are saying Speaker must obey you, otherwise there will be no parliament. No, I am asking you to obey the rules, and I'm the presiding officer. I am the one who makes a ruling whether the orders are complied with or not. Yeah. No, honorable members.
Just obey the rules, finish. If you obey the rules, then you have
Just make a...
So what do you want me to do?
Just make a difference.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I must agree to 4 people standing at one time and ruling, talking. No, I have made a ruling. What is the damage that is caused by that? No, this is just chaos, disrespect. Is that how you do it in LPM, in DTA? No. Honorable members, take the floor. Otherwise, the member must please get up and pose his question.
But Speaker, look.
Yeah, but what can be done now? Should I ask the honorable member to please excuse us? No,
See?
to do what? No, honorable respected Sankwasa. No, honorable member. Honorable member.
Minister is out of order.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we can't talk when all of us are on the floor. No, yeah, but honorable member, do you think it's appropriate that the honorable member refuse to respect the chair, and the honorable member is telling me who to recognize, and I must just go along with that? No, but you could have sent a note. You could have sent a note. So, honorable member, what we are saying is, what you are saying is, every time you don't agree with the ruling, that's what you are doing. That's what you are doing. You don't agree with the ruling, and therefore you will not agree. You don't agree with the speaker's interpretation of the rule. You are out of order. Honorable member, can you sit down? You cannot argue with the presiding officer. Honorable member, can you please take a seat? I have. How does it work? So you are saying I must respond as per your wish, failing which you will make the parliament ungovernable. No, you don't have the floor. All of you don't have the floor. I am not listening to you.
Just adjourn the house. That's the case. What is this now? Madam Speaker, just adjourn the house, please. What is this now? Is it back now?
Okay, honorable members. is source of procedure. Source of procedures. The procedures of conducting business in the National Assembly is based on these rules only. This is the book saying, not me. I just read, source of procedure. These standing rules govern the conduct of business and proceedings in the House and must be read in conjunction, and it goes on. And then there are obviously rules also adopted in terms of the constitutional powers that are given to the House for the establishing, functioning, and procedures of parliamentary standing committees. That's all that I said. So I don't really see where the inconsistency with the rules is. And on that one now, I have made a ruling, Honorable Ampanda. But the honorable members, can we please really, I think this is not fair. Yeah, I want to give the floor. No, that's, yeah. There's no one on the floor now, honorable member. Yeah. There is no one on the floor. There is no point of order.
Speaker, I want to take you to Rule 6, subsection 2 of the Standing Rules and Orders. Madam Speaker, the rules says, quoting it verbatim, any presiding member may make a ruling on a point of order in any matter before the House. And in so doing, he or she must explain the reasons for the ruling. Very fundamental. 2, provided that he or she may instead submit the matter to the House for its decision. Honorable Speaker, when you are making a ruling, you must also explain why you are making a ruling. You can't just make a ruling and say go to the meeting without explaining the fundamental premise on why you are making such a ruling. And secondly, it's not only the job of the presiding officer or the presiding member or the speaker to make a ruling without subjecting it to the House as a collective. So this thing must end where we say, I have all respect for you in your speakership. But this thing of you saying, I made a ruling and nobody can talk about it. Well, the rule that the last decision of that ruling lies with this House. This is a House of elected representatives, a House of debate. You can't just be told, sit down, sit down.
That's an argument, no. Honorable member. You may take your seat, and I'd like to make the following
but
ruling.
I've made my point.
You have made it, that's why I gave you the floor, so you can make your point, in the hope that after that you will let us proceed now. Now, I read that rule myself also. I said a presiding member may make a ruling. I did not disrupt you when you were talking. A presiding member may make a ruling on a point of order in any matter before the House, and in so doing, he or she must explain. The presiding officer did explain. Yeah. The presiding officer did give an explanation, and also, can I just conclude? I listen to all of you. Why are you just interjecting every time I'm speaking? Yeah. So, and then that he or she may, and I underline that, may, not must, may, instead of making a ruling, submit the matter to the House for its decision. Now, the second part I have dealt with because it's may. It's up to the presiding officer to decide whether this is a matter on which he or she is not able to decide and would want to ask the House to make a decision on it. Now, coming back to the issue of an explanation, the explanation is that the sources of procedures of this House are the standing rules. The sources of procedures of the committee, standing committees, are these rules of the committees. And that is why the appropriate place to talk about the compliance or non-compliance with the procedures of standing committees is the rules of the standing committee at a meeting of a standing committee. That was a ruling. Yeah, a ruling is made. Okay, so I think really there now we are just disagreeing. We cannot say we didn't discuss it. We discuss, we differ. Yeah, we are, Honorable, please, really, this is not fair. This is an argument between a member and a presiding officer, just speaking out of 10. No, Honorable, I think I have explained. I said already, I have explained to say any perceived non-compliance. Yes, it's perceived, it's your view, we can debate it. We can debate it, but when we debate it, we will debate it according to these rules at that platform, following these rules. That's a ruling that I have made. So it's not true that I have not made a ruling. Now, Honorable Mongo, can you please pose your question? I think we have done justice really to the issue. Oh, I didn't see. Okay. Honorable, do you still wish to take the floor? I don't see you asking for the floor. No, not yourself, Honorable Ampanda. No, I'm just saying, whenever it is that you don't see us, you have no right to know. Okay, please, that's fair. That's not unfair. Okay, that's fair. It's noted. It's noted, and an honorable member, I have ruled, I have said it's noted, fine. Okay, it's noted. You are not treated. I have indulged you, Honorable Ampanda, more than any other member of this House. More than any other member, truly. Yes, Honorable Member, would you like to take... Honorable, maybe it's a point of... I need to hear what he wants to talk about, because apparently he had his light on before I gave you the floor. Would you not like to take the floor anymore? It's okay. Okay, so switch off your light then, Honorable Member. Then, Honorable Member, you may please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have two questions. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11 September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Honorable James Sankwasa, the following. The Rehoboth Town Council has been involved in persistent labor dispute over the years, the latest of which ended in June 2025 court ruling. In this judgment, the Town Council was ordered to pay 1.8 million to a former employee, an amount it is unable to settle. Consequently, an auction has been scheduled for the 6th of September 2025 to sell 5 vehicles and 1 grader belonging to the Town Council. In addition to the award, the Council has accumulated significant legal expenses due to its reliance on private legal practitioners. This situation is not unique to the Rehoboth Town Council, but it reflects a broader trend among many local and regional authorities in Namibia, which often struggle with legal challenges, including labor and employment disputes, procurement and tender conflicts, contractual disagreements, land allocation and ownership matters, service delivery issues, and compliance with statutory or regulatory framework. I therefore wish to ask the Honourable Minister the following. Honourable Minister, are you aware of the critical financial situation of the Rehoboth Town Council, and can the Ministry initiate a full forensic audit of its financial management, budget implementation, and compliance with the Local Authority Act 23 of 1992? Will the Honourable Minister inform this House of the total costs incurred by local and regional authorities in lawsuits over the past five financial years, specifying the amounts already paid in settlements or judgments and the amounts still pending before the courts? To what extent have these legal costs diverted funds away from service delivery priorities, such as housing, sanitation, and infrastructure maintenance? What are the most common causes of lawsuits against local and regional authorities in Namibia, and what trends have been observed in recent years? Has the Ministry conducted any audits or reviews to determine which local and regional authorities are most exposed to litigation, and what corrective measures have been taken? What proactive steps is the Ministry putting in place to build the legal and governance capacity of local and regional authorities, strengthen compliance with procurement and administrative procedures, and reduce the financial risk arising from litigation going forward? And lastly, explain why many local and regional authorities prefer using private legal services rather than relying on legal services from the Attorney General. I hereby give notice on Thursday, the 11th September 2025. I shall ask the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Dr. Elijah Chitunga Ngurare, the following. Government vacancies advertised monthly in the Public Service Management Circular currently require candidates to submit application exclusively in physical form, either through hand delivery or via NAMPOST. This system often results in delays, misplaced applications, and additional financial burden on applicants. Consequently, many Namibians are excluded from these opportunities due to the cost of postage, long travel distances, and other barriers associated with physical submission. I therefore wish to ask the Right Honourable Prime Minister the following. Considering the vast distance and financial challenges faced by citizens, especially the unemployed youth in the rural and the remote areas, how is the government addressing this exclusion? Namibia has made commitment toward digitalization in several sectors. Why has the recruitment system for all government vacancies not yet transitioned to online applications, which are globally recognized as faster, cheaper, and more transparent? The Employment Services Act, number 8 of 2011, legally require designated employers, including government ministries, to post all job vacancies on the Namibia Integrated Employment Information System. Right Honourable Prime Minister, given that these requirements appear not to be consistently observed by your office, could you clarify why the government has not fully implemented this mandatory legal provision? While we acknowledge that not all Namibians have equal internet access, could the government create a hybrid system such as online applications complemented by community digital hubs or community libraries so that no citizen is left behind? And finally, can the government provide a clear timeline for when Namibians can expect the transition from hand-delivered applications to a modern, secured, and cost-effective online recruitment platform? I so submit.
Yes, thank you. Can the honourable member please table the questions? Now, thank you. I recognize Honourable Thomas.
Thank you very much.
Honourable Thomas, one moment. I just want to ask the understanding of the members of the House. Can you just sit for a moment? Yeah, please, we were supposed to break at 20 to 4, but I see now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members who would like to ask questions. Can we agree to just go through the questions and then we break for tea after that? Okay, Honourable Thomas, you may proceed, please. Huh?
Thank you very much. Honourable Speaker, honourable members, welcome back to this.
Oh, we don't need to go anymore, eh?
Thank you very much that you are all here, and so the mic, don't get me. Thank you, my sister. Now, okay, thank you. Honourable Speaker, honourable members, I rise here that I shall give notice that on Thursday, September 9, 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Health and Social Services, Minister Esperancy Lovindao, my sister there, that the current workplace at the Sanamtango ward of Onanjokwe Hospital has unfavorable working conditions. The chair used by the doctor, nurse, and the patients are so old that they are supposed to be at the side of destruction alongside the spin wheel. The floor and table are broken, and there is no furniture arrangement. The blood pressure monitor is one of the oldest medical services since the beginning of that ward. I am reiterated that on environment that is healthy is extremely important for human health anywhere in any hospital. Additionally, it promotes a health, ecosystems, and stable climate to the workers who are there. On my question, Honorable Minister, since you assumed the role of minister, have you ever visited that hospital? 2, is there any supervision at that hospital? Can the hospital be maintained by that supervision who are there? Okay, I'm proceeding. I'm hearing the background. For the benefit of the doctors, nurse, and the patient, will visit and ensure that the working conditions are improved. That is only what we are looking. How soon, Honorable Minister, can you do it? That is my minister.
Thank you, Honorable Member. You may please table the questions. Thank you. And now I recognize Honorable Likando.
Roderick.
Oh, there is another Likando here. Okay, Honorable Likando.
Are you sure? All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 11th of September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism the following questions. Honorable Speaker, as part of Namibia's acclaimed community-based natural resource management, CBNRM program, conservancies play a vital role in sustainable land and wildlife management, enabling rural communities to benefit from tourism and natural resource utilization. However, concerns have been raised by conservancy members, civil society, and other stakeholders regarding the transparency, fairness, legality, and community benefit of some of these concession arrangements. These are increasing reports. There are increasing reports suggesting that in some instances, concessions are awarded without proper consultation, that benefit sharing is minimal, and certain agreements may be exploitative or environmentally damaging. For the interest of public accountability, I wish to pose the following questions. Could the Honorable Minister provide full details on the process followed in awarding concession agreements between conservancies and concessionaires over the past 5 years? Second question, what percentage of gross or net income from the concessions is returned to the conservancy, and how is this income monitored or audited? How does the ministry ensure continuous monitoring of concessionaires to prevent overexploitation or breach of contract? What is the standard duration of these concession agreements, and under what circumstances are they renewed or amended? Next question. What is the ministry's policy and concrete action plan to proactively prevent and remove the illegal settlement of elites and other individuals in the core wildlife and tourism zones of communal conservancies, which are critical for biodiversity and generating tourism income? Why does the ministry consistently appear to take a passive stance, leaving financially strained conservancies like Anabeb and Salambala to exhaust their limited resources on lengthy and costly court battles to protect their land from such disruptive invasions? What immediate steps will the minister take to A, directly intervene and provide legal and financial support to conservancies currently engaged in eviction lawsuits against the illegal settlers? B, establish a dedicated enforcement unit within the ministry to work with traditional authorities and communal land boards to prevent new settlements and dismantle existing ones in core areas. C, official accountable for allegedly permitting these illegal settlements, which threaten a national strategic asset that benefits all Namibians. Honorable Speaker, I so submit.
Thank you. May the honorable member please table the questions. Okay, I now recognize Honorable Mulunga.
Honorable Speaker, mine is an urgent oral question.
Okay, then we will proceed to the written questions first. The Honorable Kandorodu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members of the House, questions directly from the recess.
Thank you.
Organic questions. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 4th September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Health and Social Services, Honorable Dr. Esperanza Vidal, the following questions. The background. NSS is part of the uniform team such as Namibian Police, NTF, and the correctional services. But nurses have been treated differently when it comes to uniforms. The police and NDF are being provided with uniforms but not nurses. Why are the nurses not being provided with free uniforms? Why should they pay for? Nurses are buying uniforms the moment they start with training until they start working, which is not the case with the police and NDF. They have been provided with uniforms while nurses are under the same government. Nowadays, nurses' uniform are different shape, different color, different style. Everything is different. Due to the fact that nurses are buying uniform from different tailors or make his or own uniform, so each nurse wants his or her uniforms to be unique from others. On the 3rd of October 2023, NANU Secretary General Junius Shilunga said nurses have to buy their uniform is unjustified, further stating the issue of nurses' aprons is a chronic one and the government is expected to provide these items. Shilunga, who believed nurses buying own uniforms to be an anomaly, said the unions has approached the ministry, but their complaints are being addressed at a slow pace. The government is indifferent towards healthcare providers. They expect them to deliver quality healthcare, but they are not taking care of these people, Shilunga charged. The unionists said the meeting they had with officials from the Ministry of Health regarding the uniform issue fell on deaf ears, as no action was taken since. Hence, my questions. Why is the government or ministry not providing nurses with uniforms in order to have a standard uniform of all nurses, male and female? When will the nurses stop to buy the uniforms? When will the nurses' uniform be produced locally for all? I submit.
Now I recognize Honorable Venani.
Honorable Speaker, mine are oral questions.
Okay, please let me proceed to the next member, Honorable Ampanda. Okay, then I proceed to Honorable Fries.
All right, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I hereby give notice that on Thursday, the 11th of September 2025, I shall ask the Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Honorable Emma Theophilus, the following. Mobile Telecommunications Limited and TN Mobile implemented mandatory SIM card registrations in Namibia in January 2023. This initiative requires both existing and new SIM card holders to register their personal information with their respective service providers. However, despite the introduction of this measure, scammers continue to exploit mobile numbers from both MTC and TN Mobile to defraud Namibians of their hard-earned money, and many of these perpetrators remain at large. I therefore wish to ask the Honourable Minister the following. Honourable Minister, given the mandatory SIM registration was introduced to trace and prevent scammers, how does the government evaluate its effectiveness, especially considering that online scams are still prevalent despite this measure? Question 2. What mechanisms exist for Mobile Telecommunications Limited to collaborate more effectively with law enforcement and financial institutions to proactively trace scammers before consumers lose money? Question number 3, Honourable Speaker. Considering MTC has stated that it cannot act against scammers without a police investigation, what steps is the government taking to strengthen consumer protection against online fraud? Second last question, does the Communications Regulatory Authority of Namibia have the mandate or plans to require mobile operators to implement real-time monitoring systems to detect and report fraudulent activity? And if not, will such a mandate be considered? And the last question, Honourable Speaker, considering banks often redirect victims to telecom companies, what measures are being taken to improve coordination between banks and telecom operators to prevent fraud and provide rapid recourse to victims? I so submit, Honourable Speaker. And then I have another question, Honourable Speaker, which I hereby give notice that on Thursday, 11 September, I shall ask the Minister of Environment and Tourism, Honourable Indileni Daniel, the following. Trophy hunting in Namibia poses serious dangers and risks, including the loss of prime genetic stock and the threatening of species survival when the strongest animals are targeted, which weakens biodiversity and disrupts ecological balance. Economically, the practice delivers short-term income but risks undermining more sustainable, inclusive conservation tourism, which has greater potential for long-term job creation and community benefit. Additionally, Namibia's international image as a conservation destination is jeopardized, as growing global opposition to trophy hunting may reduce ecotourism demand and foreign investment. I therefore wish to ask the Honourable Minister the following. Can the Minister provide evidence comparing the revenue generated by trophy hunting versus photographic tourism, particularly in terms of long-term sustainability for Namibia's economy? Number 2, what proportion of trophy hunting revenue remains in Namibia after deductions for foreign hunting operators compared to community-based tourism initiatives? How does the Ministry ensure that trophy hunting does not negatively impact Namibia's diversity, particularly, Honourable Speaker, I want to retake question number 3. How does the Ministry ensure that trophy hunting does not negatively impact Namibia's biodiversity, particularly with the removal of prime genetic stock, such as the largest or strongest animals? Question number 4. What mechanisms are in place to ensure that trophy hunting does not undermine Namibia's international image as a conservation destination, which could discourage broader tourism investment? Second last question. Could trophy hunting be making Namibia more vulnerable to international policy changes, such as bans or importing hunting trophies into key markets? And the last question, Honourable Speaker, is the Ministry considering transitioning towards tourism models that focus on wildlife watching, which may provide more sustainable income and employment opportunities? I so submit, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Can the Honourable Member please table the questions? Now I recognize Honourable Nashinge. Oral. Oh, okay, so now all the, is your question written, Honourable Member, there at the back, Mulunga? It's oral. Okay, so now I follow the list that I have. It starts with Mr. Mulunga.
Speaker. Speaker.
Oh, did I say Mr. Mulunga? Yes. Honourable Mulunga.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I'd like to pose an urgent oral question to my counterpart on the other side of the aisle and ask her the following questions. Honourable Minister, are you aware that the employees...
Who is the counterpart of Honourable Mulunga?
You don't know
Honourable Mulunga, apparently your counterpart doesn't know who.
Okay, I'm the shadow minister for agriculture, water, forestry, all the other names. Who forgot already? I'm sure by now my counterpart must know me and everybody knows. Thank you very much. Yeah.
How can we forget such important details?
Don't worry, the recess was long. Honourable Minister, are you aware that the employees of Walu Fishing Investment Pty Limited, one of the companies allocated fishing quotas under the government employment redress program, are currently on strike as we are speaking because they have not been paid their August wages as per the agreement signed by the parties? The repeated delay in the salary payments has left many of the fishermen and their families in conditions of life-threatening hardship. Honourable Minister, this is not the first occurrence as similar delays and challenges has been experienced in the past. This reflects a systematic failure in the fishery sector that exposes workers to insecurity and humiliation. I therefore want to ask the Honourable Minister the following questions. What mechanisms has the Ministry put in place to safeguard the fishermen's interests under the Government Employment Redress Program? Number 2, what urgent measures will the Ministry take to ensure that Walu Fishing Investment honors the agreement by paying all outstanding salaries owed to the fishermen? We understand that the agreement is set to end at the end of December, but Walu has only made a commitment to pay the employees up until the end of September. What is the way forward with regards to the allocation of the said fishing quotas under the government redress program? Thank you.
So that's first and foremost. Secondly, oral agent questions are for things that were not known or at the time that we are supposed to give the notice of questions and cannot wait until
salaries
20 minutes. Yes, Honourable Member.
These are lives of fishermen that you're talking about.
So now, Honourable Member, would you like to respond? Is it a point of order you are making, Honourable Member?
Correct. Honourable Speaker, I really am sorry and humbled to offer a correction to the point that is, to the questions that were raised by my friend, Honourable
I'm not your friend.
And I rise under point.
I'm not your friend.
130.
I'm a fellow Honourable Member.
I raise under 131. 3. 131.3. That's on page 75. And maybe it's also a learning issue and exposure. I really am humbled to correct my honorable friend to say the rules refer to the following.
Honorable Speaker.
The rules refer to the
Honorable
following.
Speaker.
Yes, the honorable member is making a point of order, honorable member.
No, but the honorable cannot be referring to me as their friend.
I beg your
I'm not
pardon?
the honorable member's friend. I'm an honorable member of the House, and I shall be referred to as such.
Yeah, okay, I can't hear the honorable member because there are other members talking. Come again, honorable member?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Honorable Mounga, I didn't get what you said.
Honorable enemy.
Oh, is
That's that one is more suitable, I think.
The mic.
Honorable enemy.
So, Honorable Speaker.
20 minutes for oral agent questions.
Honorable Speaker, and number 3 says, questions may not refer to or require the disclosure of proceeding of a committee not yet reported to the House. That is part of the rule. What my honorable friend has done is literally disclosed issues that are before the committee. And I speak as chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on
and he's not a chairperson of a committee.
And those questions, I really would want to advise my honorable friend to wait until we deliberate the report, our report, during the committee.
And the chairperson will
next
table
Monday.
it.
And then, once we table it, if there are issues that you want to enrich it, we can always do that. I just wanted to, because the questions that are asked to the Minister of Tourism truly falls exactly under our oversight visits to Zambezi. I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, honorable members, there is a rule that provides that matters that are before a committee cannot be taken out by members of the committee and used for other purposes. So that rule, that order, that point of order is in order, honorable member. Ne? Yes, now, I hope the Secretariat is keeping record of the time. Yeah, now we proceed to the next question. Yes, honorable. Yeah, I can't hear you. Can you increase the volume?
Rule number 83D.
Rule number 83.
A question on a point of order or a question of privilege. The Honorable Dr. Opindi did not follow the questions I've been asking since I came to this Parliament. The issue of concessions was not only asked today. I asked about the concessions on the oral questions that we had previously. I am not asking questions on the committee. These questions are the questions that have been, it's a follow-up of the questions that we asked already, not on the committee. I don't have any mandate to divulge committee information. So I did not stand here to ask questions on the committee. No,
okay,
it's not about the committee.
Thank you, honorable member.
Yes.
But to the extent that the question that you are raising queries an issue that is under consideration by a committee, I will not be able to see my way through to really allow that question be put. Otherwise, it creates difficulties in terms of question. Yes. Now, honorable member, you can ask for the floor to come on your own time, but now we proceed to the next question. It's honorable. Now, am I following the list? The list is honorable Benani. Is it not your questions that were said to be before a standing committee?
No. Speaker, please.
Yeah, honorable, yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter who they are directed to. A member can get up on a point of order and raise a point of order. And if he raises a point of order No, honorable member, just a moment. If the honorable member makes a point of order, and that point of order is consistent with the rules, the presiding officer has an obligation to uphold that point of order.
Can they go to the
unless
committee
if
and discuss it?
no,
They can just go to the committee meeting and discuss it.
if it is there, it means the discussions are ongoing. That is why it cannot continue here. Honorable member, the next, please, honorable member. No, honorable, please. I allowed you to put the question. The question was put. Honorable Minister, are there other issues which are not, but you are not on the committee? That's where the problem is. So the minister...
No. Speaker, point of order, please.
Oh, okay,
Speaker, can I just come in? I think either deliberately or you missed each other. I sense you are deliberately misleading. Because Honorable Mulunga...
Who is deliberately misleading?
Yes. Honorable Mulunga spoke to the Minister of Fisheries.
So?
The question is directed to the Minister of Fisheries about the fishing industry.
Meaning?
Meaning,
so no one can make a point of order.
is talking about the question of Honorable Likando on natural resource.
Yeah. Okay, point of order, Honorable Member.
Yeah, clean your ears.
You have the floor.
Clean your ears.
If you just allow those things to just continue.
I am only clarifying. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker.
Now?
But the bin is also being eaten.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker. The
point of order.
Honorable Nas.
No, he was on the floor.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Nashinga is correct. Because I'm not referring to the honorable who just left the floor. I'm referring to Honorable Likando. Because when we had our oversight, let me say this. When we had our oversight visit, we went to all the conservancies in Zambezi, and those issues that he actually asked are tantamount to be in the report of the committee. That's why I say it's against the rule to ask those questions. So thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
And that is Honorable who? Mulunga? Honorable Likando. Honorable Likando. So the questions of Honorable Likando are the ones that are querying issues that are before the committee and can therefore not be responded to under questions. Yeah. So since I only had Honorable Mulunga, I would now give the floor to Honorable Venani. Who? Huh?
Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, okay, take your seat now, Honorable Plute, because now you are talking, all of you at the same time. That's why I'm saying you are creating chaos in the House. Yeah. So, can Dr. Aupindi? Okay, no, I want to, can we, okay, one moment, honorable members, because there are just too many things that are being said. Really, let's try to reach, no, honorable member, can you please, let me just have, no, I want to get the clarity from the person that made the point of order. Please, yeah. But you are out of order, honorable member, you are sitting, you are speaking from your floor. Yeah, so I just wanted to make a point. So Honorable Likando posed a question. Is Dr. Aupindi, Honorable Aupindi, are you saying that your point of order was in regard to the question posed by Honorable Likando? Yes. Okay, so then Honorable Mulunga posed a question. Okay, then the opportunity is now for the Minister of Fisheries to respond. Okay, then, yeah. So if you can just be orderly, we will conduct everything, but when 5 people speak at the same time, no, you are out of order. No. Honorable member, you may take the floor. Please, we have 5 minutes because now the rest of the time is lapsed. Honorable member, you may please respond. No, I was not pointing them. Who said I was?
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Mulunga, I understand the issue that you are referring to is the issue of non-payment of employees of wallow fishing. I have equally been notified by wallow fishing that they have not paid their employees due to technicality with their technical partners. It has nothing to do with the Ministry of Fisheries. In fact, as far as our part is concerned, we signed the agreement with wallow fishing already in July. Employees were allocated, quotas were released. So as far as the relationship between employer and employees are concerned, that is another separate matter. We are also waiting to be informed as to what is the nature of the challenge. Thank you very much.
You came late and you are also making noise.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the response. But one would assume that the Honorable Minister would have measures in place to ensure that these companies that are allocated these quotas, because these are quotas allocated on a special tool under that government program, that the ministry will have some form of mechanisms in place to ensure that these companies do not mistreat their employees. Now, to leave everything in the hands of the companies when these quotas are special quotas allocated by the ministry is a bit, yes.
Let the men come.
Oh, Speaker. Oh.
So
Honorable Mbemba, pose the question, please.
It's a bit dangerous. So for what mechanisms are in place from the ministry side to ensure that these companies comply with the agreements that you have signed with them?
Very good.
So
Thank
that's
you.
what I would like
That's
to find
a
out.
clear question. Honorable Minister.
Honorable member, in terms of the employment redress agreement that we have signed with the employers, there are various people that have signed on to those agreements, and the implementation of these agreements are done by the Ministry of Fisheries and the Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations. So we have advised the employees that if they have issues with their employers in terms of non-payment, the recourse is provided for in those agreements, and they must knock on the doors of the labor inspectors in Swakopmund and Wolfish Bay. Thank you.
Very good. Now I give the floor to Honorable Venani.
Speaker, thank you very much. I rise under Rule 135, asking 3 brief, important questions one to the Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Industries, Mines and Energy, and I want him to be on record. Since you are the Deputy Prime Minister, you are a very senior government leader, and given one of the most important portfolios in our country. We are reading through you, Speaker, in the mainstream media, that the Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister Natangwe Ifete, has single-handedly picked a member to become the acting CEO of a very vital, defunct national asset called NAMCO. Deputy Prime Minister, is it a new government rule for you to take the rules of corporate governance aside and start imposing leaders of institutions of parastatal directly without listening to the boards. What triggered, knowing the mayhem, avarice and greed and malfeasance that is recorded in courts at NAMCOR, that you as a minister or cabinet single-handedly pick up someone while there is a board that is there? Is there a particular interest? Does the government believe that boards of directors are no longer important and now ministers, because you have done it with MIDCO, you are doing it with NAMCOR? So where are we going in terms of policy postulation of government? Is it now a matter of, if I don't like whoever I don't like the board, therefore I do it my way? Is it a government overreach of a minister? Or is it now a new policy that we must get accustomed and used to? That's question number one. Question number two, Madam Speaker, is to the Minister of Agriculture, Water, Forestry, Fisheries, and all those other matters under the sea, Madam Inge Kamui Damani. Madam Minister of Agriculture, we are seeing a situation that Namibian farmers, Namibians cannot import pedigree genetics from South Africa, cattle from South Africa, and game from South Africa due to the foot and mouth disease problem. I want to know from you whether the ministry has made a summative assessment as to the cost that our agricultural industry is losing, our farmers, especially farmers, that always buys bulls and genetics from South Africa to come and augment and make Namibian products sharper and better. How long are we going to wait? Has there been any measures or any reciprocal questioning of our veterinary services to see how can we avert that? Because genetically now we have fewer games in Namibia. The game species that we are buying is more expensive because the South African market at least was bringing an equilibrium. In terms of bulls, Bonsmara, in fact South Africa now is the leading country with Angola, that brought Angola from Uganda. Namibian farmers cannot access Angola. So I want to know from you, Minister, short and sweet, what is it that you are doing as a new minister to make sure that you resolve this problem so that Namibian farmers can be able to access genetics from South Africa? Lastly, Speaker, you may.
How many questions?
3. Sarah, you just want to be angry with me for nothing. 3 questions. For nothing. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for your kindness. Minister of Education, very hardworking minister. I want to know from you. You may dodge the question, but it will come and haunt you. You have promised us free education, State of the Nation address. Our children are applying at universities now. We are already applying. We are asked to be paid. You promised us, when I asked that question 2 months ago, that you will come with a ministerial statement telling the nation and the country how this free education is going to be tailor-made and going to be implemented. 2 or 3 months later, you have not done so. I put it to you. Which free education are you giving Namibians? When are you going to announce these things? And when should parents be informed about where to apply and what to apply and which faculties? Muchas gracias. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Comrade DPM, thank you. You have the floor. Honorable DPM, you have.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much also, Honorable Member, for the question. It's a straightforward question, and it's an oral question that need a very, very short answer. To answer that question, I will simply say, I don't know. I don't know. If I have appointed somebody, I don't know. Maybe I have, yes. If you know that I have appointed myself, I don't know. I don't know whether I have appointed someone.
Translation.
Maybe you have information in your disposal. Maybe you have information in your disposal that I have appointed someone, and I don't know. Maybe you know it. Myself, I don't know.
Very good.
And as per government policy, government have no rules, no new rules where members of executive appoint CEOs and MDs. There is no such a policy within the current administration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So DPM, Honorable DPM is saying, no, the DPM and Minister of Mines did not appoint an acting ED. Is that what the Honorable member did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he has information.
Okay, just for clarity. Now can the Honorable Minister of Agriculture answer the following question? Next question.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Benani. There is an ongoing debate about the import of genetics from South Africa. It has been brought to my attention on my desk, and we are busy doing an assessment and consultation before I could make a proper answer to your question. So please give me my indulgence. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. What was the third question? Education. Honorable Minister of Education.
Honorable Speaker, it's on. Yes, I have no intention to dodge a bullet or to be haunted. I also promised this House that we will come back and provide information when it's needed, even if it's tough to do so. So I wish to inform you the following. As we speak, from 8 or 9 today until 1 o'clock while we were in Cabinet, the Education Task Force, consisting of all the 8 ministries and having done in-depth and very wide consultation, they wrote up the report after they met also with the Minister of Finance and myself, separate meetings, to get input. That input will be taken back to Her Excellency with different scenarios. Remember that we are saying application processes are happening right now. Application processes are happening right now, but January, we talk about registration as well as tuition. Those are the 2 key issues. So yes, we will still come back, and this House will be informed in September of what is the way forward.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I give the floor. Now I give the floor to Honorable Husu. Yeah, Honorable Ampanda.
The first one goes to the Minister of Health. Minister, this morning I managed to inform myself. You know very well that in your ministry, Katutura Hospital has about 12 employees that deals with cleaning of linen and things like that. There are 2 machines. One is for washing, and the other one is for drying. The similar machine also exists at Central Hospital, which is what? How many is it? 1 kilometer or in between? So for some reason, that machine, the cleaning machine at Katutura Hospital, has been left to be dysfunctional. And as a result, a middleman has been given that golden opportunity in the business unusual to clean the linens. The 12 employees, they wait every morning to receive the blankets and go and take them, and go and collect and take them from this middleman company. But few meters there at Central Hospital, the same machine exists that can clean. Why did the ministry make such an arrangement with the middleman for Katutura Hospital when the same can be cleaned at Central Hospital? That's one. 2, who is this middleman company, and what is the value of this tender that one gets to clean when government have similar machines just 500 meters away from that same hospital? And for how long are these machines, these 2 machines at Katutura Hospital, going to remain dysfunctional, as it were? So I'm completely shocked, and it is very shocking, and I would invite responses to that. I just discovered that today. Second, to Minister of Education, yesterday I visited a school, and without really going into details, because my mood has been spoiled with this unlawful way of doing things and incompetent parliament, so I will not go in those details. I would rather say, are you going to issue a ministerial statement on this issue of Ndama, where the 500 learners have been taught under trees? Instead of bombing you with many questions, maybe it will be sufficient if you are going to deal with it or respond. I would rather wait for that ministerial statement if you are going to do that. If not, I could pose my question.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Does the Honorable Minister wish to respond? I think first it's the Minister of Health.
Much. Oh,
Health first, Honorable Stienkamp.
For the question, Honourable Member. So it's actually very good that you raised the question on laundry. It's been a long-standing issue. Recently, during the visit of Her Excellency President of the Republic of Namibia, as well as the Right Honourable Prime Minister and I believe the Vice President, myself as well as the Minister of Works, we did identify this as one of the major issues that has been pending over the past few years. And so in order to not make rash decisions, what we then did is we instructed the team to do a cost, basically benefit analysis, to see what would be more beneficial. Is it giving the service out to a middleman that is cheaper on the long term, or is it doing the services ourselves? We actually recently got the report back last week from my executive, and it actually states that doing it in-house is cheaper. And so it is the planned way forward. I must highlight that it is not only in Windhoek that we have that issue. So before any other parliamentarians bring up, it is an issue even within the regions, because we went to quite a few regions recently in the past few weeks. And we were able to identify that not just is it an issue of outsourcing, but also the issue of the machines are oftentimes a problem where they're not working, they're malfunctioning. And so this is something that we've done a cost-benefit analysis for. We hear you, we agree with you, and it is cheaper to do it in-house, and that is the way forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister of Education.
Yes, we've got the information, and I will make a ministerial statement on Ndama, South and Ndama East. Thank you.
So the minister is saying that you would make a statement to provide the information. Huh? What was the answer? Okay. Okay. Yes, Honorable Ampanda, on what point are you raising? No, you have to ask for the floor for a follow-up. You don't just get up. I'm not saying you are not entitled to. Yeah. Yeah, so, but it's okay, you are up already, so you want to make a follow-up question to the minister who responded. Okay, you may now pose your follow-up question.
Yeah, thank you very much, ministers. Minister of Education. I'm looking forward to that ministerial statement, then we can engage that. Thank you, Minister of Health, for your honesty. And yeah, it's good that you are on point as far as those issues are concerned. And we can only build this country when we are honest with one another. And where you are right, you are right. And where you are wrong, you are wrong. So I look forward, once you finish that assessment, it's important for us to get a comprehensive, report. What is it that you found? Not your in-house things, just generally that, okay, because that building state capacity, we believe that in the best way to build our countries to develop capacity of the state, to build internal capacity of the state. And I'm very happy to note that you did your assessment and says that it is cheaper, obviously, it is cheaper to do it inside. But we also prefer...
Honorable Member, follow-up is only a question. No. According, yes.
The follow-up is to say that we...
Not according to the rules. No, according to the rules, you only get a follow-up question.
Yes.
Yes.
The
so, like, what is the question?
The follow-up is that when you then finalize, please come back to the House with a comprehensive update so that we can understand what has happened.
Thank you. We
That's
are
all
now
I'm saying.
well past 20 minutes, Honorable Member. There are two other members.
There is not, that's all I'm saying.
Thank you then. Thank you. Can we go to the next? Because I have to exercise flexibility to accommodate everyone. It's now past 4 and we are still on oral agent questions. Honorable Nashinge. No, I thought that was a proposal, not a question.
I thought there was a question.
Oh, okay. Is there another question on the floor?
Minister of Education. No, fine. Thank you very much, Speaker. Mine is going to my counterpart, Minister of Home Affairs. My sister.
Can the honourable member increase the volume, please? The volume of your voice, maybe.
No, I'm loud enough. Thank you very much. Honourable Minister, I just want to find out something from your good self. If you can confirm or deny whether the system that deals with the application of visas, passports and other civil registration documentation, whether that system is currently down or it is within the last 72 hours have been completely non-performing, and which in the end ends up rendering officials unable to process the applications or allowing customers or clients to pay as it is normally done. And if that is the case, is the cost related to non-payment of annual software licenses, fees from you to the vendor, or what is going on there? And then what is the way forward? Because the information from the citizens is that every other month or year, you have a system rejecting applicants, Namibian citizens, simply because of the inconsistency of this system that you are using. So I want to understand what are the measures in place from your office, from your ministry, to address this issue once and for all. The other one, I just wanted to find out the horrible accident that happened in the region. We are informed hours later by the media that among those that have lost their lives, may their souls rest in peace, was an expecting mother and her sister. But yourself, as a minister, during the press conference, you have not profiled these two individuals to have an understanding who are they, how do they end up in the official car, which if the officers were really assisting them, that is okay, but they are human too. Why are we not profiling them to take also responsibility instead of putting on defensive mechanism? I just want to have an understanding on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Minister. Oh, yeah, both questions were to the same minister, ne?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Member. Shadow, supposed to be walking in my shadow. On the first question, I maybe seek more clarity from you because the systems that we have for processing visas, there are 3. There is an online system that is used for application of visas on arrival. There is a system that processes the visas that are applied manually. And then there is a third system that does processing the payments of those visas. As at where I stand at this point in time, I have no information of any of those systems being down. As far as I know, they are fully operational. However, on the end that you are referring to, one of these systems have reached its lifespan, meaning that if you want to improve on it, it have reached the final lifespan, and processes are underway to replace, and we are replacing all these 3 systems with just one system that is going now to have access for all, either online processing and the manuals, because our intention is at the end of the day to phase out the manual applications. And also coincidentally, I briefed the cabinet this morning on the systems, and the information that is provided is exactly the same. I believe that satisfies you in terms of responding to the first question.
Thank you. Now I call upon Honorable Mvula.
Moving to the second question, Speaker. Yes. Yes.
Honorable members, I have given 35 minutes to questions, oral questions, when you are only entitled to 20. Okay, the last answer, Honorable Minister.
First and foremost, I should appreciate and extend a word of appreciation to many messages of condolences and sympathy that were sent to either the Ministry, the Correctional Service, in NAMPO, and also to the family of our departed colleagues. If you have followed during our press release yesterday, the 2 citizens that you are referring to, I can refer to them by the same names, Mrs. Yachar and Mrs. The second one I can't remember, but they are profiled. They are at the end of that list. Yes, I have the document. You can't dispute because I have it in writing, and we delivered the statement together jointly with the IGP. And the information at our disposal is that the sisters were reached the hospital, and when they were informed that the ambulance that ideally supposed to pick them up was not available because it was attending to another case, they reached out to the police, and the police then intervened to assist, of which is part of the parameters of assisting anywhere there should be any distress situation. That's how they ended up being transported to the hospital when the accident occurred. And it's unfortunate that the accident took place. However, they are part of all the programs. And as tomorrow we will be holding a mass memorial service in Mariental, they will also be part of that service, as it's going to be taking place at the sports stadium tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Thank you. I think that's satisfying.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Now I call upon Honorable Mvula.
Thank you, Speaker, and welcome back from the recess, as well as all the honorable members of Parliament. I have an oral urgent question directed to Honorable Daniel, the Minister of Environment, and it's related to the recent newspaper article, front page, that alleges that the government and the owners of the old TCL mine in Tsumeb actually had barred or refused to make, or rather to have the alleged arsenic contamination report by the researchers of the United Nations public. Now, to avoid a public scare, I think it's just responsible from a responsible government that the minister could possibly deny or agree that this article basically contains authentic, it's actually an authentic report by these United Nations researchers. I thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, would you like to respond?
Thank you, Honorable, for the question. Yes, just as you have learned it through the newspaper or media, whatever type of media you have learned about it. Yes, I have learned about it this morning as well, but it's not something that I have turned a blind eye. I have channeled the question and just to get clarity by the technical people. As you might be aware that all the information might not be at our disposal at every moment. Answers are needed. It's a serious matter that I have also taken, but I'm also finding out the truth and the truth about this situation. And when information is obtained, I will inform the House.
Very good. Thank you. I think that concludes the honourable member. Do you have a follow-up question? Okay.
I do. Can the Honourable, thank you, Honourable Minister. Can the Honourable Minister also make it public in your response after you have gathered the facts? What mechanisms the Ministry has in place to check, to regularly assess the possible contamination, including water tests, where all these mines operate in the country? Thank you.
Very good. I think that's a suggestion. With that, I think we conclude the questions. And we now proceed to go to the next item on the order paper. Is there a hand? Honorable Venani? Yeah, notices. Honorable member, you ought to have waited for me to call out the item. Okay, but you now have the floor. Notice of question.
Is the treatment that I'm getting that I'm preempting?
Oh, apparently there is. Can you just give us a second? Honorable Venani.
You must not speak before elders.
I stand on point of privilege, Speaker, with the concern coming from the previous session and also to this session that has started today. Almost the whole 2 or 3 hours of this session is taken up by questions. Very much important. At least I never disrupted any speaker here. Therefore, I'm very much worried, Honorable Speaker, if we really get time to discuss motions, to discuss bills, when the whole 3 hours of the session every day is taken up by questions. I understand we do not have the time.
Honorable members.
I understand we do not have a time limit for this question session, but how are we going to handle it? I'm just very much concerned as to how are we going to handle these motions that we still haven't gotten any time.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Can I answer? That's an important point that you have raised. I just want to say, and I said it earlier, you know, under urgent oral questions, Rule 135, the presiding member may allow time for urgent questions to ministers on any sitting day. Then 2 urgent questions, then I go to 3. Oh, okay, let me go through it all. May be asked without notice, must be short and to the point, must as far as possible be answered immediately, subject to the discretion of the presiding member. A supplementary question may be asked to elucidate an answer, subject to the discretion of the presiding officer. And 4, most importantly, the time allowed for urgent questions must not exceed, must, not may, must not exceed 20 minutes. That's why I mentioned that in the beginning. But I thought that maybe members picked up a number of things, and I thought, today is the first day, allow them to ask the questions. But I want the honorable members to note that there is this restriction, because there are a variety of issues that we are obliged as elected members to also address in the House. Now, having said that, I also go to Rule 85, time limit for debates and speeches. There is a point on questions. Where is that? Questions. The mover has 3 minutes per question, and only once, yeah, they pose that question once in 3 minutes, and the member answering a question 5 minutes, only 1 chance. Then mover in reply 2 minutes once. So there are limits. So I try to exercise flexibility because I don't want to make things unnecessarily difficult. But truly, the public, they expect us to address a host of other issues, as the Honourable Member has said, and I would like to implore us to please take this into consideration when we answer, we pose questions and answer. No, on what now again, Honourable Member? Even Honourable Venani is no longer agreeing with you. Oh, okay, you can go on.
While acknowledging the concerns and the honourable member from the other side of the aisle that is allergic to questions.
Okay, 1 minute, honourable member.
I want to remind him that I think what should worry us more is this. All these are questions that are not answered.
Yeah, no, that's for answering. Today we are asking questions.
Comrades are never here.
Okay, please take
They run away from the
You are out of order now.
The comrades.
You are out of order now. Yeah, honourable member, can you please notices of motions? Yes, motions, honourable member. Yes, please. There are a number of others, but please, we have to go to motions. Yeah.
Princess, you run away. You are never here. You are never
notices
here.
Of motions. Yeah. Okay, honourable members, truth.
I'm being bullied by the IT specialist. Honourable Speaker, I rise as a senior member of this House to debate. Well, I'm a senior member. And you must listen to what I'm saying, and there is a reason why I'm using it.
As an elder.
As an elder. Hey, I'm your elder. What do you mean, what elder?
Honourable member, can you please stick to the motion?
Protect the elder.
Under the rule of elders, a known convention, to bring a very sensitive motion, highly emotive, highly sensitive, but that I once brought in my early days of my career in this House, and I want to reintroduce it because it's rearing its ugly head. So the caveat is that we debate it with the utmost sensitivity because it's highly emotive. Honorable Speaker, since independence, Namibia has made commendable progress in fostering national unity. However, the persistence of tribal sentiments continues to pose a serious threat to our national cohesion, social harmony, and equitable development. Tribalism remains a challenge rooted in the legacy of colonialism and apartheid systems, which deliberately divided our people and entrenched unequal development across regions of our country. To this day, its manifestations are evident in political allegiances, perceptions of preferential access to resources, and disputes over traditional authorities, all of which undermine the spirit of unity enshrined in our supreme law, the Namibian Constitution, that compels us to confront these challenges with resolve. Article 8 speaks of upholding the dignity of every Namibian, irrespective of origin. Article 10 guarantees equality before the law and prohibits discrimination on grounds of ethnic or tribal affiliation. Article 23 explicitly condemns practices of division and discrimination. And Article 95 directs the state to promote the welfare of the people through policies that advances unity, justice, and social equity. If you are listening to Namibia today, tribalism has become the order of the day in many areas of our governance. Therefore, honorable members, I hereby give notice that on Wednesday, 17th September 2025, that I shall move a motion in this august House to debate the grave matter of tribalism in our country, Namibia, with a view to consider urgent and practical measures to address and remedy this challenge in the interest of national unity and cohesion. This motion will also seek to examine other international approaches
that enable everyone equitable access to natural resources, jobs, through proposal of quota-based system. I call for this motion to be debated with respect and the sensitivity it deserves. I further propose that this motion be referred to the relevant standing committee for detailed inquiry and recommendations, and I so move. Honorable Speaker, on the same day, I shall also ask this very honorable August Assembly to debate the current resettlement schemes in Namibia. The current resettlement scheme, proper English, in Namibia, that continue to face significant challenges. Notably, corruption has become the order of the day for many people accessing farmlands, low agricultural productivity that is recorded in various resettlement farms, and inequitable land distribution. Notwithstanding previous interventions, corruption remains a persistent concern, as evidenced by Namibia ranking of 59th out of 180 countries on the 2024 Corruption Perception Index. Land ownership in Namibia remains highly skewed, with the Namibia Statistic Agency reporting that approximately 70% of commercial agricultural land is still held by previously disadvantaged citizens, whites, while only previously advantaged whites, while only 16% or 20% roughly is held by previously disadvantaged communities. Furthermore, many resettlement beneficiaries experience low productivity due to insufficient resources and support, and over 40% of the population resides in informal settlements with limited access to essential services. These circumstances hinder social equity, economic development, and the establishment of sustainable livelihoods. Therefore, broader categories of resettlements must be created, especially to accommodate the youth and women beneficiaries, because the current scheme is excluding young people to access these farmlands. And we are training young agricultural Namibians, agriculturalists, that are not having access to a resettlement. Therefore, we are calling on broadening the scope of agricultural resettlement farms. Honorable members, I hereby give notice that on the good day of Wednesday, 17th September, the year of the Lord 2025, I shall move a motion in this August House to debate the formulation of new resettlement schemes that are transparent, accountable, and inclusive. I further propose that this motion be referred to a relevant parliamentary standing committee for detailed inquiry and recommendations. Honorable Speaker, I so move.
Yes. May the honorable member please table the motion. Okay. I now recognize Honorable Shimi Ipumbu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I give notice that on Tuesday, the 9th of September, 2025, I shall move the following. But before I move, I would want to preface my motion with a bit of a background. The pattern of settlement is rapidly changing in Namibia. It is estimated that by 2050, the urban population in the country is going to double. According to the latest census, presently, half of the Namibian population already resides in urban centers, and about 40% of this population lives in informal settlements with less than adequate access to basic services. In responding to this challenge, last year, 2024, the Namibian government launched the revised housing policy. The 2024 housing policy will go a long way in providing housing opportunities to Namibians. I therefore move, Honorable Speaker, that this House discusses what is the role that National Assembly is going to play to support the implementation of the 2024 housing policy. 2, whether or not regional and local authorities are ready to implement the revised housing policy. If not, as crucial implementers of this policy,
how can they be capacitated? Third, what will be the role of other stakeholders, including the private sectors, such as financial institutions, in the implementation of this policy? I further move, Honorable Speaker, that this motion be referred to the relevant Parliamentary Standing Committee for further investigation and report back. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. May the honourable member please table the motion. Okay, I now recognize Honorable Ampanda.
Speaker, the culture of any organization is always defined by the worst behavior that such an organization is willing to accept. The National Assembly is no exception to that. Because of its oversight responsibilities, the public is accustomed to the National Assembly and its members holding the officers, ministries, and agencies, and the General Executive accountable in the execution of its duties. The public is aware and often sees National Assembly and its members demanding transparency, demanding accountability, and demanding good governance from the members of the executive as provided for in Article 63 2F of the Namibian Constitution. When it so occurs that the National Assembly is as guilty of the very same deed it seeks to hold others and the executive accountable, its very integrity will immediately be brought into question. So in other words, we will be the emperor that is naked, wanting to tell others that they are naked. Article 60 of our Constitution had anticipated this eventuality. What did this article envisage? It envisaged a situation where the National Assembly would be an emperor that has no clothes. It is for this reason that that said article gives members and defines that members are duty-bound to maintain the dignity and image of the National Assembly. Such dignity and image are immediately at risk when the Assembly is misrepresented, when the National Assembly is corrupted, and when the National Assembly is captured, and also when the National Assembly is incompetent as it is. While on recess, the National Assembly officials and some members claimed that the National Assembly designated them to the Pan-African Parliament. The truth and fact is that there is no such a decision and or designation by the National Assembly. It can only be corrupt individuals who misrepresent, who capture and corrupt the National Assembly. This claim is nothing but manipulation, misrepresentation, and a corrupt act that even all those involved are aware of. It is for this reason that I give notice that on Wednesday, 3rd of September, the year 2025, I shall move that the National Assembly repudiates such misrepresentation, such corruption, such capture, presented locally and internationally as the National Assembly designation. I shall further move that the Assembly discusses and approves a framework of designation of its members and therefore accordingly designate its members. It is important to emphasize that when it comes to decisions of the Assembly and individuals acting on behalf of the Assembly, every member has a right to participate. You also even have a right to participate and choose and vote, even for members belonging to another political party. It is not open to a political party to sit behind the corners and determine that this is a person who must represent the Assembly. There is availability of where such things could be done. Otherwise, we would have just said SWAPO has 51%. Honorable Kugongerwa, you are already speaker automatically. But you still need, because this is a representative of the Assembly, not some corner, not some other alternative formula. So I repeat again, the notice is Wednesday, 3rd September, that the Assembly repudiates such misrepresentation, such corruption, presented locally and internationally as National Assembly designation, and that the National Assembly discusses and approves the framework for designation of its members, and thereafter accordingly designate its members. We must do things procedurally and correctly. I so submit, Speaker.
Yes, may the honourable member please table the notice. Very good. I now recognize Honourable Lukato.
Honourable Speaker, members of Parliament, leaders of all political parties, good day, and I greet you in the name of Jesus Christ. I raise on motion on the second National Land Conference that the implementation committee to establish to push for the implementation of pending outstanding resolutions of the second National Land Conference, which were approved and endorsed by all stakeholders who participated. The said conference, held in 2018 in Windhoek, the Republic of Namibia, produced critical resolutions aimed at addressing the land question. The implementation of these resolutions remains outstanding, and it's necessary that this August House ensure their enforcement with further delay. I shall submit, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I raised that on 25 September, I'm here to give notice that on Thursday, 25 September 2025, I shall move that this Assembly discuss and agree to the following motion to amend certain agriculture laws and provisions. Number one, that the existing agriculture laws and provisions be amended to reverse the current situation where consumers or buyers are allowed to dictate the prices of products and the properties of the sellers or farmers. Instead, the determination of prices should rest with the farmers or sellers. The proposed amendments should include the Agreement Board Act as to empower farmers and the stakeholders, ensuring that they are fully consulted in the decision-making process. This will strengthen the bargaining powers of products and safeguard their economic interest. I so submit, Honourable Speaker. On the 25...
How many notices do you have?
Yeah, I'm having, I think there are two. I'll be finished now. I'll be done, okay. Honourable Speaker. Yeah, thank you so much to allow me to. Yeah, on Thursday, 25 September, I'm here to give note that on Thursday, 25 September 2025, I shall move that this House discuss and agree a motion to upgrade towns, villages, and the capital cities that the government of the Republic of Namibia reviews that Local Authority Act 1992, Act number 23 of 1992, in order to rectify and upgrade that status of certain towns, villages, and settlements to reflect current population growth and development. The motion proposed the following: that certain towns with significant population and economic activity, such as Rundu, Katima Muliro, and Otapi, to be upgraded to cities that village councils be upgraded to town councils and their settlements, and the large village to be upgraded to village councils where applicable through the consultation of the line minister. This motion seeks to promote local economic development, efficient governance, and empowered service delivery in line with Namibia's decentralization policy and Article 102 of the Constitution dealing with regional and local government. I so submit, Honorable Speaker. The last one, thank you very much for the platform again, that I raised that on Thursday, 25, I here give notes that this assembly discuss and agree that amendment to reverse the appointment of regional governors, that the appointment of regional governors by the President as provided for under Article 11(0)(a) of the Namibian Constitution be reviewed and reversed to ensure democratic accountability. The motion proposed that regional governors should be elected directly by the people of their respective regions rather than appointed by the head of the state. This will ensure regional democracy, strengthen transparency, and promote equitable representative of the citizens of this level. Honorable Speaker, further proposes that the Electoral Act of 2014, Act number 5 of 2014, be amended to provide for the electoral process of regional governors in line with the Namibian Constitution, principles of democracy and the sovereignty of the people under Article 1(2). I so submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Can you please table the motions? Now I recognize Honorable Achipara Modestus.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to give notice that on Tuesday, the 9th September 2025, I shall move that this Assembly debates the non-whitelisting of the Namibian Maritime and Fisheries Training Institutes, NAMFI. They are established in 1996 under the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources to promote Namibianization of the maritime and fisheries sectors in line with International Maritime Organization, IMO, standards. NAMFI has yet to be whitelisted due to legislative delays and institutional non-compliance to IMO standard. This has left its graduates disadvantaged and Namibia still relying on foreign expertise. With the discovery of oil and gas, IMO compliance and NAMFI whitelisting is urgent for building a competitive local workforce. I therefore move that this matter be discussed further, investigated, and referred to a relevant parliamentary standing committee for further inquiry 2, secure international recognition for NAMFI graduates and advance the full Namibianization of our maritime and fisheries industry. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. May the Honorable Member please table the motion. Thank you. I now recognize Honorable Thomas.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the Parliament, I rise here that on Thursday, September 9, 2025, I shall move a motion that this House to discuss the various conditions of expired food. What is going on? Okay. Expired food items that are found on the same soap sale trailers. Country some soap sale trailers. Trays. Yeah, trays. Yeah. Countrywide under the reluctant watch of the health inspectors. I think it is critical that the House address the loopholes discovered in the health of expired food that resulting from the health risk for faced to the Namibian consumers. I so submit.
Okay, the Honorable Member may please table the motion. Okay, now we move on the routine of business. Honorable Ampanda.
Okay, Speaker, I just want to bring to your attention, maybe you could take it up with the table office. The rules requires that when we write our motion, when you make an election, whether your motion should go to a standing committee, the rule requires you to identify that particular committee. And we do that. And we always see that in the order paper, the table office always change it. And they just say this matter go to the relevant parliamentary. The rule says we must identify, a mover must identify it. Why do they do that? Why do they go and change the content of what the rules make provision for? And please, Speaker, we are not going to be subjected to, we are told that if the public have submitted a motion to a committee, we are told that the things have lapsed, so it must be reintroduced. But for some reason, people want to subject us to old tradition that we have nothing to do with. I have nothing to do with 2000, I have nothing to do with 1990, I only appreciate history. So the rules, Speaker, maybe you can look into it. Because if you just look at this, it's always, we comply with the rules and then they just change it. And it just hangs there, relevant. Which one is relevant? We look at the profile of committees and the line institutions and things like that. So I know you are director, don't defend yourself. The Speaker will indulge on the... No, it's not fair.
It's okay. Honorable Member, you might just go ahead and,
okay.
and conclude.
So all I'm saying...
It's okay.
Yeah. The rule says do this, and we do it. And when the order paper comes, it says relevant parliamentary committees. Maybe we must speak also about these records of these minutes, because in other places we look whether the minutes are really an authentication of what we discussed. So maybe it's a conversation of another time, but Speaker, please take a look at that. Because the committee will say education, and then somebody goes and say relevant. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, no, we will follow it up to establish which motion was referred to which committee that has been redirected to another committee, and then I will be able to arrive at a conclusion on that. Very good, very good. No problem. So now we will talk about it later at the Secretariat. Now I recognize Honorable Prime Minister. Is it a ministerial statement? Right, Honorable? A motion also.
Point of privilege.
Oh, point of privilege, okay.
Yes, it's not the preserve of, just a lighter note. Honorable Speaker, huh? The light is not on? The oversight function of parliamentarians, welcome back. So, point of privilege to greet them. When they go in the regions, and yeah, Comrade Deputy Prime Minister is a good youth. When they go in the regions, there are some for environment, natural resources, some for education, and some for health. And that is from Parliament here. In the National Council, they also have the same. So when they meet in Dama, do they greet each other? Or do they just pass each other by? Or do they report together? This was just a point of privilege. It's okay, Comrade Speaker. I'm just... and then when they report back, I suspect that there will be fatigue of consultation by the communities that are visited. So, if it is from Daungilo, Honorable Ims comes, the other community, Ims of the other one, they come to the same one. There is fatigue of consultation. So, but anyway, Comrade Speaker, this was just a point of privilege. So that this side also can have the point of privilege. Just for the... Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Honorable Ampanda. Honorable Ampanda?
Yeah. No, thank you, Speaker. It's Prime Minister for taking the bullet. I hope you don't get for raising that. It's really... Well, call me, then I can explain. So it's really a serious concern, and sometimes we will reach a stage where people are going to beat you, just that we are tired of you people coming here all repeatedly. And the National Council will say is they are having their own committees, they are separate. Yeah? But when it comes to some other things, apparently we are all the same and things are done together outside there without us knowing. But when it comes to some other things, they must divert. So it's a serious issue that we must discuss. In the Committee of Public Account, the responsibility of public hearings of audits, the audits are tabled here. And once the audits are tabled here, you will see the National Council holding public hearings on things that are tabled here. Because apparently there was some gentleman consensus between the National Council and the National Assembly for the National Council to do the work of the National Assembly. So public accounts of National Assembly, subpoena people, and they also know we have already been subpoenaed, we answer that question, and the public don't know. So it's something that we really need to be able to discuss, because the Constitution creates that hierarchy. One is that a supreme law-making body, and it's why we have different budgets, 03, the one that is flying around, 03, and the other one is 04. But where it convenience for some people, apparently these institutions are one. So it's a serious issue that we need to, I agree with the Prime Minister, that is something really that we need to be able to do. Otherwise we look like jokes. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I think within the rules, we can look at our rules and see how we can address that issue. A number of things come to my mind. I can see some sections in the rules that speak to that matter, but maybe we start with the meeting of the standing rules, or we look at the rules, standing rules and the committee rules, and we will find rule we want to learn to try and deal with that. Okay? Very good. Then we, okay. So now we have what? Okay, 14 minutes. Any ministerial statements? Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I greet all of us because it has been quite a time that we have not said hello to each other. I stand before this August House to provide a comprehensive briefing on the National Youth Enterprise objective, structure, operational framework, and unstated impact on youth empowerment and economic growth. Just by way of background and context, in line with the National Development Plan number 6, the government remains firmly committed to implementing targeted initiatives that address youth unemployment while fostering the development and sustainability of youth-owned enterprises. The fund represents a key instrument in this strategy, and it's designed to provide enhanced funding mechanisms as well as technical support for young entrepreneurs across the country. The Ministry of Finance has been tasked with the development of the Youth Fund and the mobilization of the resources amounting to, ideally, 500 million, and I'll come back to that. This capital is intended to empower the youth to initiate, sustain, and expand business ventures across multiple sectors of the economy. In terms of fund allocation, like I have said, I was coming back to that. You will all recall that when I tabled the budget for 2025-2026, I have indicated that for your consideration and approval at the time, that 257 million Namibian dollars was earmarked for this fund. This allocation complements similar youth-focused programs implemented under other ministries like Ministry of Gender, Equality and Child Welfare, the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sport and Culture, the Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy, and we also have a component in under the Social Security Commission. Collectively, these programs create a comprehensive ecosystem to support youth entrepreneurship. The Youth Fund will align with national financial frameworks, including the recently National Financial Sector Strategy that was approved, the other frameworks like the National Integrated Financing Framework, and also other policies that talk to youth entrepreneurship. Now, in terms of operational framework and fund management, I will distribute this document that I'm reading, and you'll find in Annex 1 there that gives an indication as to all aspects that I'm presenting here. That we are informing this House that there will be 3 development financial institutions that will be managing this fund, these being the Development Bank of Namibia, the Environmental Investment Fund, and AgriBank. NAMPOST have indicated that they are not yet ready to participate, but when they are ready, they will then be joining this initiative moving forward, because this is a program of 5 years. The fund, like I have said, is designed to provide an ecosystem, that is to say, not only financing, but also supporting the entrepreneurs with mentorship, coaching, as well as access to markets. In terms of monitoring and evaluation, the fund will implement rigorous monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to continuously assess the impact of its activities. These measures will track the number of enterprises initiated, sustained or expanded, the employment and self-employment generated, the delivery of businesses, development services such as mentoring, coaching, and advisory support, like I have mentioned. To enhance operational efficiency, the Ministry of Finance, in collaboration with the National Planning Commission and the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, will establish an integrated data platform link to all the three conduits that I have mentioned, being the Development Bank of Namibia, EIF, and then Agribank. So basically, among other things, we are looking at the impact that these funds will be generating. That we'll be looking at the number of businesses initiated, like I have said, the employment and self-employment created, provision of business development services to targeted beneficiaries, and the effectiveness of the endowment component in mobilizing additional resources. A review of existing schemes and DFI portfolios indicates that when we have fragmented initiatives, the impact is not really greater. That is why we would want to see how this youth fund will be performing. All right. Once again, under anticipated outputs, once this is operational, we are really anticipating that it will have an impact on youth employment, and with that, youth unemployment will be reduced. We will also promote economic inclusion by integrating especially marginalized youth among other youth categories. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, through this fund, the government is really establishing a transformative platform to empower the youth of Namibia. Now, before we launch the fund, we wanted to see how the regions and constituencies are readying themselves. That's to say, to assess the readiness, the Ministry of Finance, in collaboration with the regional governors and constituency councillors, initiated a pilot phase from the period of August 1st to 25th August, which was subsequently extended to the 4th of September 2025 in response to requests from governors and applicants. The purpose of this pilot was to evaluate the level of youth engagement in entrepreneurial activities, assess applicants' writing and planning skills levels, and determine overall readiness for the full rollout of the fund. Following the 4th September 2025 deadline, the governors will then submit those applications that they have received, and the date of the launch, we are only going to choose, say, one per region, just to demonstrate that we are not just launching through talking. That will be an exact award to the 14 bankable business proposals from the youth, and then thereafter, they can now apply to these development financial institutions in those categories, right? So I had thought that it is important that, as I promised, that I come back to this house to inform you that we are ready. We also got good feedback from the youth as we are engaging them, and we are continuing to engage them because this is the youth. Now, when you get this document, please pay attention to Annex 1, because there is where you will find the initial outlay of 257 million, like I have indicated, the governing structures that will be Ministerial Finance, and that will be implemented by 3 development financial institutions. In terms of the fund structure, for us to ensure sustainability, there will be a portion of the percentage that will be earmarked for the endowment capital. Then there will be now the one for loans, and then you have the component of grant, because mentoring, coaching, and assisting people to develop financial business plans, that's very critical. So what is also critical is for the members to know that in terms of interest rate, because this is meant for
honorable member, you get to ask your questions.
The range in terms of interest rate between 2% and 4%. You can look at this one, no collateral, because your asset is your collateral. And then, because so many people are disturbing my peace, especially one of them, I'm not going to end, because this is very important. It is meant for the youth. The The youth, not the
Honorable
other youth.
members, because of the importance
the
of this
age,
statement, Honorable Minister, just a moment, because of the importance of this statement, we can agree that when the Minister finishes, we would allow the members that want to ask their questions to do so. Yeah? Otherwise, because otherwise you can't adjourn a discussion on a statement. But honorable members, hear me out. Otherwise, we can also bring a motion to discuss, isn't it? To discuss, and then we get explanation, we ask questions. But it doesn't help us to interject now. Let's allow the minister to finish. Honorable Shafuda, can you continue, please? Or you are done?
Yeah, because normally one ends with a phrase. I thank you very much for listening.
Oh, very good. Thank you. You see, she's done. No, the questions can now come. I have a list here, ne? Honorable Kandorodu.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, honorable members, can we allow Honorable Kandorodu to ask his question?
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for the statement on the Youth Fund. I'm a bit confused. Where do you come in? Is it because of the word fund, while the beneficiary is under the other ministry? Why don't you give the program to the Ministry of Education, Youth, Sport and Culture so that they can deal with their client? I think you only deal with money. You don't deal with programming or programs or activities. That fall under other line ministry. So I think the most important thing that you need to do is to transfer the funds to the ministry, or the program or the concept to the ministry, and then to the institutions, the banks that will facilitate the loans. And why should the youth be subjected to a closing date? Why should there be a closing date? Closing for what? Why are you closing it? Don't close, leave it open, let them access it. You have institutions. They can tell you that we are closer to the limit you have allocated to us. Can you widen the threshold? Add more money, because the demand is so high. Some youth are registering it now, their companies, and it takes a process for BIPA to complete the registration process. So they will be excluded in this current one. And then finally, Honorable Minister, Prime Minister, why do you want to decentralize, to centralize everything? Where does governor's office fit in here? You have regional councils, a statutory body in the Constitution of Namibia, elected by the youth themselves. The governors are not elected by the youth. They are unknown. They are nowhere to be seen in the constituencies. So give the regional council to handle these programs. They are the custodian of the people. So relax, don't grab everything, don't centralize. Give it over, delegate, relax. We own Namibia, it's our land.
Okay, thank you, Honorable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Ampanda, then I have 6 more people.
Yeah. So at what you see, this thing is so serious. I used to be a member of the youth, a board member of the Namibia Youth Credit Scheme. So there were 2 youth funds, Honorable Sharonis would know. I was thinking when I heard about this phrase of National Youth Development Fund. I was thinking that, oh, so there is actually an institution that is going to be created. It's an institution that is going to be created with a governance framework, with procedures and everything. This is a mere desk in the Ministry of Finance, coordinating different funds. It's not an institution. So the National Youth Council, which is an institution established by an Act of Parliament, is dysfunctional now. Minister Steenkamp is not acting decisively on it. But it has the CYB, Credit Union Business, with database and everything. The other one, the Youth Credit Scheme in the ministry, it has people until now who are employed there. It has database, it has record, it has a loan book even. When I heard this thing, I was like, oh, okay, government is going to create an institution. The loan book of CYB is going to be integrated. The loan book of what is going to be integrated. This is a mere desk. There is no institution, no board, no executive, nothing. It's a mere desk. I never, remember, I was in support. I'm still in support of the principle. Yes. But every time when I hear this explanation, I'm thinking, oh my God. Because imagine, and I'm thinking that, look, you have won the election. If you have won, you are in charge, you have established a government. When you establish an institution, just do it well. Then I'm actually wondering, how do you have a fund and you have a pilot? In the pilot, according to the minister, no, we want to see a total number of businesses created. You see, when young people apply to the police, they are subjected to this conduct. Because of the poverty of young people, you must have this certificate of conduct. You pay that amount of money. Government made millions from the poverty of the youth. How much is it to establish a company? I think we don't understand these things. You need an accounting letter. How much does the accounting letter cost? How much does the accounting letter cost that you need to support them? So, when the fishing quotas came, there was even a component of the youth, is that because of that, you are going to get a high number of companies that have been established just for fishing quotas. Now, because of these 257 million, what you are going to have a high number of companies who have been established for what? Only to apply. Only to apply. What is BIPA doing now? BIPA is in the process of deregistering those companies. They will never comply. You establish a company in order to enter. They will never comply. I thought you establish an institution, and you are talking about incubation. I thought what was going to happen, Speaker, a young man would walk in with a brilliant idea. Somebody would listen to them and say, okay, we can help you in the process. NAST have facilities for business incubation. Mentoring. You can help a young person. Now the rules of requirement is that you must have a business like that. So, Minister, as I conclude, you see, you can never succeed in this program, I can tell you now. You can never succeed in this program if there is no institution. I know there are people who have applied. I'm just waiting for you to approve them. They've already told me, I have the information, how they are beating that system. I can tell you now, they are already going to be part of those three that are going to be from at least 4 regions. I'm advising Minister, it is not necessary to go with this launch or select these people who are submitting to the governor. Some people's applications are getting lost in those offices. I'm just asking, don't do this thing. It's going to burn right in your face. Go ahead with the launch. I will be in attendance. Honorable Venani and others will be in attendance of a launch of an idea. Don't come and say these are the successful people. Because it's going to, you can still do this. And once I go to DBN, DBN have SME section, it have consultant, it have everybody that is there. The other institution that you're talking about is the same, I'm concluding, Speaker. The Agri-Bank, it also have that institution. The ministry, with my eyes closed, the Ministry of Finance does not have the necessary capacities to do an assessment and to implement. And I know you are talking about the implementing agencies are these ones, but the governance framework speaks to these ones. Don't do that. It's a very dangerous thing. Of course, some of us are prepared to litigate because on what basis is the governor going to choose and recommend in a region and taking people who are their relatives and remove yourself from those things. We support that program, but we are just warning you from the point of care, really. And when you say Social Security Division, which one? Is it the fund, the Development Fund of Social Security? Is that Development Fund of Social Security is the one that is integrated? Because by the law they have that fund. So Minister-wise, you have also given that Development Fund over to this desk. From an institution that they have capacity with a Development Fund, you are giving it to a desk to run those millions. Yeah, just don't do these things. Allow people to do those things because it's a very dangerous. We will come back here and I say, I told you so. I'm just warning you that I told you so because this is a corrupt scheme by implementation, not by design. That's not what you intend it to be. But we are warning you that it will be very... I wrote to the Prime Minister. We are waiting for him to respond. But, you say, Speaker? Yes. Yes. Yes, I know what... It's a pain in my heart. It's very painful,
No,
Speaker.
you have made it your point.
We are saying it from care.
Okay, you have made the point.
When you think about it, it hurts.
You have made
we
the
care
point.
about the minister. Mme Shafuta, don't fall for this trap, those things.
Very good,
Yes,
thank you.
this governor thing is going to create a problem. Go back to the drawing board, create a governance structure, get those employees from NYC, from the ministry, and run a proper framework.
Okay,
Tell the
honorable
president, the president must not do those things.
Honorable members.
Otherwise it will...
Honorable member, Honorable member, you have now spoken for 5 minutes. No, we have 3 minutes for each member to make an intervention. I want to give the floor to everyone who is asking for the floor. So 3 minutes, please, strictly, honorable members. Yes, is it a point of order?
Hi there, I'm Wala Bwalia.
And I'm Rusangula. On this season of Property Menu, we'll be taking you on a journey through Windhoek's most desirable suburbs and gated estates.
In each episode, we're diving into a different suburb, showcasing the property types and price ranges, and tell you how you can secure your dream home.
We'll also explore the amenities each suburb has to offer: schools, parks, shopping centers, and many more.